What's up, squeegee slingers and water-fed pole wiggling wagglers, and welcome back to the Tradman Academy YouTube channel. Today is a very, very special video. We've got an interview with the one and only Ed and Susie from Squeegee App. So let's get into this. Well, thank you very much, Ed and Susie, for joining us here on the channel. Been really looking forward to doing this. So thank you very much for joining us, especially on relatively short notice and dragging you in front of the camera. So welcome to the YouTube channel.
Thank you.
No worries. So please, let's kick things off. Please tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and how you came up with Squeegee App.
So I've been developing software for about 20 years. I worked with Mark before we started Squeegee, and myself and Mark and a few others came together to form Squeegee after we'd worked for a number of large companies building software for them, companies over here in the UK and over in the US. We decided that we could do the same things as we were doing for those companies, those big companies who were paying us huge amounts of money, that we could provide those same sort of features and software and technology to everyone for a reasonable price, because at that point, none of this stuff was really available to small businesses. So we basically set out with the idea that we'd make an app for small businesses to manage their business and make it reasonably priced and available to everyone.
That's really interesting. And what challenges did you face getting that app up and running?
Well, one of the major challenges was a good problem to have, which is as our customer base has grown, the infrastructure has had to grow with it, and sometimes that growth has been quite rapid. So there have been times where there's been lots of behind the scenes work on increasing the number of servers and the capacity and things like that, as well as our users will know that when we need to have a release, that sometimes, occasionally, we have some holdups with the stores, with the App Store and the Google Play Store. They seem to sometimes wait until it's a really urgent fix that we need to put out there and then hold it up, which is a real challenge for the team.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it must be a little bit frustrating when you've done your bit of the work and then you're relying on these other big companies to get on with it and release that, especially if it's obviously quite a fix you need to do. So, but that leads me quite nicely on to my next point I was going to ask you, which are, so what are some of the other day-to-day challenges that you guys are facing with this software? You've mentioned one there. What are some of the other ones?
So mainly either coming up with how they can use Squeegee as it is to run their business, how they can turn their data, which sometimes can be, mixed quality if it's coming from either on paper or from other apps. It needs improving. We can help them how to get it into the app and make it work better for them. And then a lot of the time
troubleshooting and training needs as well. So from speaking to lots of customers and walking them through the apps, that's where we've got the Squeegee Training Academy from, is making sure, because it's now become a much bigger piece of software than it was in its infancy a few years ago, that it's not just a quick chat on the phone and off you go. There's quite a lot to go at now as a business. So
that's really good. Yeah. And the training academy, that was such a great goal that you had for your app, and you brought into action there. Do you have any other goals looking forward for your app?
One of the next big things, I mean, we're going to continue to work on the training academy because we've had a lot of feedback on it. The next main thing is probably this Squeegee marketing and comms, because we've had just so many people asking about how they can market to their customers in bulk and how they can
upsell different services
their business
throughout the year when they've got different points of the year where they're not making as much money.
It's great.
Like that.
Absolutely.
And fleshing out the accountancy side of the app as well, so that it's a kind of one app that does everything, rather than customers having to have lots of different pieces of software that don't really link together.
That's really good. That's exciting.
We really like that as business owners,
because we use things like Go Cardless, and I think a lot of other business owners do use it these days, and being able to integrate that with Squeegee App was absolutely fantastic. It just makes things so much easier. So that's really good. And the fact that Squeegee App is still progressing and making things even easier for people like myself, that's fantastic. But So what would you say is maybe the main reason for a business owner? I mean, any service owner, window cleaners, grass cutters, anything like that. Why should they consider using Squeegee App and buying Squeegee App? What would you say?
I would say the main key thing that people will get from Squeegee is the automation. So the ability for them to remove what would normally be a bunch of manual admin tasks, like sending text messages to your customers, typing out emails to each of your customers, chasing invoices, sending thank you to payment requests, all that sort of stuff. It's almost all of that is just automated. Even most of that is even automated in the basic version of Squeegee. And then as you go up through each of the subscriptions, just more and more things get automated away, just to save you that extra time. Just to give them time to do.
Reduces like duplication of work as well, and reduces.
So we use manual entry because a lot of our users were doing things like taking the jobs that their workers had done out in the day and then hand typing them into a spreadsheet, and you get a load of mistakes coming in. So all of that stuff just goes away because the workers are marking the jobs up themselves. They're adding notes themselves. There's no lost in translation stuff.
Yeah, no, I personally found that as well, because when I first started, I used a very, very basic kind of spreadsheet software. And after doing a day's work, coming home and having to manually input everything, it's a nightmare. You dread coming home and I've got to sit in front of the computer and was it £10 or £11 or so this is brilliant.
Did I do that job? I can't remember if I missed the name.
Did the person pay me?
Communication between different team members as well. So with larger businesses, the fact that they don't have to at the end of the day like send worksheets over with lots of notes for the business owners to
I skipped this one, I skipped this one, I didn't collect the money from this one.
It's all updating in real time, so it's giving that real data back to the people who need to know it.
Oh, that's super. That's brilliant. Yeah, well, I used to work for a big company before we went self-employed, and I think even to this day a lot of the work lists are printed out for the workers. And
most people coming to us are like that still. So.
This is it. And we'd have to tick them off manually and have manual invoices to have to put through the doors or, get the paperwork signed by a commercial client. Everything was manual and written. So I might be maybe having a word in his ear and telling him about Squeegee App. So that might be a future video.
But can I ask the most important question now? The most exciting one we've been waiting to ask all evening. Any exciting upcoming features for the Squeegee App
that you're allowed to tell us about?
Give us all your secrets
without getting in trouble.
There's two major ones, and I think Ed touched on them earlier. There's the marketing and comms module, which is going to be called Squeegee Send. Please don't ask for dates because that's what we sort of shrink away from. And think MailChimp, but not only sending your marketing campaigns out by email, but by SMS as well. And if you didn't know this, email open rates are really, really low compared to SMS open rates. So you're gaining a 70% increase almost just on people actually reading the material that you're sending out in the first place. As well as that,
but we're implementing a new solution using a company called DNA Payments, which is going to reduce the cost for the end users. And obviously, depending on which plan you are, either reduce or greatly reduce the cost to per transaction. So we're hoping to sort of get that in the next sort of 3 to 6 months, maybe a bit longer. But yeah, that's as I say, we haven't told anyone really about that yet. So
exclusives, fantastic. That's really
as well as that. There's the accountancy features, so that's called Squeegee Balance, and the sort of end goal for all of that. There's all of the features in there that help with your accountancy along the way, but the end goal is to be able to submit your VAT returns straight to HMRC without having to take things out of Squeegee, plumbing it into somewhere else and sending it off.
Should end up being a straight replacement for Xero or QuickBooks. Or
that would just be amazing.
That would be really handy.
I know that accountants around the world would appreciate that.
Oh yes, it'd make their job a bit easier as well.
Save a lot of money for Andy.
Save a lot of money.
Yeah, well, this is it. No, it's literally every sort of month and year, it's going from strength to strength. I mean, I enjoyed using it way back when it first got going, but now it's just. Yeah, it's I can't keep up with everything. It's honestly, there's like new features all the time, and I'm scrolling through going, whoa, what's this?
It's literally the app for a business, isn't it? I mean, you don't need anything else. It's got everything all in one.
It's absolutely brilliant. So keep doing what you're doing. Really, really appreciate it. And honestly, all your hard work as well, because for you guys, it's not just like a 9 to 5 type thing, is it? You know, you guys are sometimes still churning away in the dark hours,
especially
you know,
kids messaging.
especially if I'm going, how does this work? So I do appreciate all your help over the years and helping me to educate people watching the videos as well, because there's a lot of questions they ask me, which I had no idea. So I send them to you. Okay. Which I'll continue to do. But thank you so much for joining us here on the YouTube channel today. Been really much appreciated. And if everybody wants to get a hold of Squeegee App, I will put all the necessary information and links down in the description below. But if you'd like to send a wee comment to myself and Ed and Susie here, just pop your comments in the section down below as you normally do. Ask away and we will get back to you as soon as possible. So once again, thank you very, very much, guys, for joining us today. And we'll catch you later. You take care, be good, everybody, and see you next time.